purpose of the Veteran Transition Resource Center is really to fill those gaps of veteran services. And we're not only going to be supporting and assisting the veterans, but the important thing is that we want to make sure the families and the children are included in the whole process as we're helping them vet. And we'll also be helping the National Guard and Reserve, because that's another group that's been underserved. And it's really important that we also pay attention to that group, because we get them as well in terms of support and assistance that they need. So we'll go this direction here. And so where you came in is what we call the Veterans Welcome Center. So there's two entrances. This is the Veterans Welcome Center. So they'll come in here. We'll do the assessment. We are very thorough in terms of how we assess that. We take the holistic approach, very comprehensive, where we don't only look at their mental well-being, but their physical well-being and their social well-being. So when we assess, we make sure that we find out what's their support system like. And if they don't have that family support system, we want to make sure they're connected with a veteran mentor. We look at what's going on with their financial literacy and their management. And, when they're coming to us and saying, I can't pay for my rent or my utilities, let's get to the root of what that is before we start working on this other stuff that we need to. So what's going on with their housing status, what's going on with their employment status. So how are they socially connected with the community? Because sometimes there's some that feel like they still need to isolate themselves because they don't feel like they fit in the community. So how do we get them connected with some civic organization or some military organization, or just somebody in the community that wants to support and help our veterans, or even a church organization? So it's really about getting them where we're setting them up for success, and there's that long-term sustainability. And this is not a one-stop shop, it's a one-start shop. So when they come here, they start the journey with us. We do that assessment, so we work with them over a lifetime. And we also will be able to track their progress and outcomes, not just in that 3 months or 6 months, but for a year, 2 years, or 3 years. So that way, it also helps us when we apply for future grants. We have a merit, this is their success, and this is where they're at. These are how our programs are working that enable them to succeed to where they're at. So that's very important, that we want to know that where they're going, and making sure that they don't fall through the cracks. And even if they do, at least now we can help pick them back up and get them back on track, and be able to plug in those different support services that they need. As I mentioned, since we're working with the family, this is like the Youth and Teens Activity Center, so it's not just for the pool or the ping pong or backgammon, whatever. We'll also be working with them in terms of anti-bullying and fusion martial arts. So with it, that's big in the school system, and a lot of times the school system doesn't even know there's military children, because they haven't identified it. So what we're doing is teaching them, where another organization will be teaching them how to negotiate. And then if that doesn't work, at least they'll learn some extra steps to protect themselves, not engage in the fight, but to protect themselves and get away. We have another organization that's going to be doing mobile nutrition classes and tutoring, as well as leadership, and then even financial literacy in itself with our teens. And this room is where we have a medium-sized group meeting, whether it's vet-to-vet group or caregivers, or for teens, and we'll also be doing yoga and meditation, because we're going to be doing alternative post-traumatic stress modalities. So aside from, even though we have a couple of psychotherapists on our team, we're doing the natural way of using other modalities as an alternative. So now they have a choice, not only yoga and meditation, but I didn't show you, we have 2 treatment therapeutic rooms, one over there right by the main waiting room, which will be doing music therapy, massage therapy, EMDR, NLP, and then we have another organization that we're working in terms of spirit therapies, the horse therapy, and then another organization that does Michael Angel Pops, that does service animal dogs, and then we have another nonprofit coming out in the fall to do adaptive adventures. So they'll be doing cycling, hiking, as well as kayaking. So they're going to be working with our vets and things. So this is a collaborative effort from not just our 2 nonprofits, but in the community, working with different nonprofit organizations, civic organizations, and agencies to make this happen. So we can't do it alone, but we can do it as big numbers of organizations to make an impact and difference. Here, for some of those that are not aware, we have an increasing exponential growth of female veterans, and they have some very unique needs that are not being met. And so we want to make sure that we provide that type of service outside of the VA, because we're not here to reinvent the services out there. All we're doing is just bridging that gap and building up those services that are not being provided and completing the process as we're working with these vets. And so with this Women's Center, we'll have the small group meeting here, 4 to 5 here, and then we'll have the individual counseling or mentoring or veteran advocacy with that one-to-one health professional that they're working with. And then we have that other therapeutic room for them, because we'll also be working with military sexual trauma. But that military sexual trauma also goes towards our male as well. So that's going to be also addressed on another aspect. But this is their safe zone. This is their safe place to come to. This is where this area, right now they're doing a audition here for some kind of film making. This Phil Valentine, he's on our team. He's actually a filmmaker, and he does documentaries, and he did one on Who Will Stand and Women of War. So he's going to be on our team in terms of doing public speaking as well. And so basically these are open workshops are with different organizations, professionals that'll be either teaching continuing education of VA healthcare and benefits, career, job development, public speaking, listening skills. We're going to actually be filming mock interviews that will include body language and like situational behavioral type of questions, so that they can really see how they're projecting in the interview. And then we'll have on-the-job training here. They'll be teaching some classes for 6 weeks, and they'll be able to sell that veteran or that spouse, that child. So this is just a small sliver of what we're doing in these open workshops. There'll be other subcategories, but just to let you know, these are where it doesn't, and we'll also be doing martial arts here as well for our vets. So there's a lot going on, but there's going to be like a schedule where everybody's going to be placed every hour, every day, and on the calendar. Excuse me. What's it called?
No, please.
Come on in.
So we have, when you came in, there were that admin check-in for our guests and visitors. This is part of the waiting room. We have about 3 waiting rooms. So I don't know if you're aware, everything in this building has been donated. So just so that you know, so that's, people continue to donate. That's wonderful. So this place for them to sit. Here's one conference room. We have 2 conference rooms in this admin side. So between so we'll be utilizing that. There's one conference room, and then these are the executive offices, like Jim Licker, his office, and then my office over here, and then the other conference room. This right here is very crucial because we have a team of attorneys that actually be working with vets whose claims have been denied. They're good at what they do.
How about if they just been ignored?
That too. We have actually another. We have
for 3 years.
Yeah, we have another vet that actually he's a retired vet. He was a VSO with the VFW in Washington D.C. and he also sat on the Bill's Board of Appeals. So he knows all the little ins and outs of what's going on. So he'll be able to help navigate our vets in the system if they need it. And let's go over here. Excuse us. Are you here? Yeah, it's actually
Get a special shot of the coffee mug right there. That's me.
The mayor's now moved.
Well, we'd love to get more involved. I'd love to get more involved.
Well, let's do it.
You tell me what you need, we're doing it. We're all over it.
$1 million small bills.
Okay. Much of it, okay. I think that's,
This is our
around the bank, that's how we're gonna
training room
be.
here. And, so we'll be doing public Q&A, public forums here, we'll have the community coming in and engaging on different topics of veteran issues and figure out what are those solutions that we need to create to help better serve our veteran community. We'll have a Safe Talk and Assist Suicide Awareness class. Jim Littner with Veterans Care Foundation, he's actually certified, and RJ Doe with the state of Nevada for suicide prevention in terms of teaching the Safe Talk class, which is like 3.5 hour class, and the Assist class. So this is suicide prevention awareness. And we are gonna require our volunteers and staff at some point to take at least a Safe Talk class. But it's not just gonna be focused on the vets, they'll be able to take it to the community and be able to, at least work with the community as well when they take that class. And then we'll be doing pre and post deployment debriefing. Boys Town and Las Vegas are gonna be coming here and teaching common sense parenting. And they're all about behavioral outcomes and strengthening the family dynamic. So that's a big thing that they're gonna be getting involved with. And as well as the, did I mention something that the Association Comprehensive Energy Psychology has actually selected in partnership with Life After Active Duty to do the post-traumatic stress study. Did I share that already?
You mentioned.
Well, so this is the work in the Central Hub. And just so you know, they're actually a group that actually has done international humanitarian work in Rwanda, Sandy Hook shooting, Hurricane Katrina, Haiti. So they work with a lot of the trauma victims, and what they're using is thought field therapy. It's very simplistic, and it's non-invasive, but it's evidence-based. So now they're gonna be selecting about 52 vets to be a part of the study. We've got about 5 people signed up. So we're gonna be doing it here, the research here. So, and then of course, here is where Jim's media room is with doing Veterans Talk, because they're gonna eventually start doing remote classes, broadcasting here. You wanna share that?
Well, actually, we will be doing the show out here with live audiences. We're going to really start promoting the live audiences. The heart of this room, this is going to be for our public forum question and answers. We had Concerned Vets for America a few weeks ago put on their first program here with probably 100 people here, how to improve veterans' health. Those are the kinds of things that we'll be constantly doing, educational things. And then tying that to our media room, we'll be able to record that, broadcast it on PBS or public access for Cox, be able to film that, replay it, just a lot of things we can do for training. This is where everything's at. Cox came in and ran fiber in for us, so we are going to actually be doing the show from here. Again, this will be set up on the stage when we have our live audiences, but we will be broadcasting, live streaming at the same time, and then depending, we could get into PBS or we could get into public access for Cox. Most of that's pre-recorded, so we will record those and then play those. But the way to really reach out and get the word out and educate people is the media. I mean, you got to do it one at a time, but with all of the problems we got, we have to hit the masses. And we found out people are willing to help. They just don't know how to help. So if we can get out and educate and start to show people what we're doing, believe me, we can get it done. When we start doing our financial literacy courses, we just had the guy in from SCORE. SCORE wants to set an office up here and be available every day to counsel people. SCORE is a huge player in entrepreneurship, and we're going to have that program here. So I'm real excited about all of the things that are starting to go on, but this is the heart, to really get that word out there, what we can do on educating on VA lending as an example. How many people know about VA lending?
They just don't understand it.
They don't.
They don't understand
And you know what? It's not rocket science. We just need to put it in the words they understand instead of complicating it. If you pick up this stuff and start reading on it, you think, that's like coming up on a government website. Try to navigate it, you know. So we want to put things that people can understand, that's simple. And that's the way we want to do our seminars, that's the way we want to educate. So. that's what this whole part's about. Isn't that
We're
neat?
almost done. And then we'll also be highlighting and showcasing
Have you done anything
different
with the
organizations
Blue Water
and
Sands
nonprofits
organization
and
yet?
agencies to the community.
Haven't done it
what-
with the
what they're all
organization.
about. So we
Oh,
doesn't
they're
know
in
what these
Colorado.
organizations are doing, now
Just
they're gonna
buried
know,
my-
because we're gonna showcase them.
My brother-in-law 6 months ago in Denver from Blue Water Native. And we've done a number of shows on it.
Yeah, I'm a member, I know quite well. That's some Blue Water Sands. Not
They
big.
pulled their benefits, we're really hammering that right now.
So we'll be able to do, computer training in here, also work with seniors and help them get access to my benefits as well, but also, our vets will be, and their spouses will be able to do company research and job search in this area as well, so, that's the key thing, is that some companies are saying that I'm getting their resumes, I know what their skills are, but they don't know anything about my company. So we wanna make sure that we encourage our vets to go beyond their resume and really research the company that you're gonna be interviewing. So that'll be also implemented when they're doing the, the mock interviews as well. But, so another thing that we're gonna have is a job retention specialist, and that's gonna be very, very crucial, working with that vet and that company, because now they become that mediator between the company or the employer and the vet, because if that vet company decides, I wanna let this vet go for whatever reason where he's not working out, at least when they're talking with a job retention specialist, they can say, okay, this is what's going on, and I may or may end up firing this vet or the spouse, but this is what's going on. And so at least with a retention specialist, he knows what he needs to do to plug that vet or spouse into those specific services behind the scenes, so it doesn't impact their productivity or their progress in helping working with the company. So because it takes about a year's salary to replace anybody in a company, and so what we're doing is doing a win-win, where now we're working with that veteran or spouse behind the scenes to make sure that they're taken care of, so that they don't carry that in the workplace, and now they can be productive and thriving in the company that they're working for. So it's a win-win for both that vet and the company. So that's why we want to make sure that we create that symbiotic relationship with a retention specialist. There's about 5 rooms here that will be rented out to whether it's a veteran service organization, a nonprofit, or some kind of agency. Like Jim mentioned, SCORE is going to be picking a space here to be able to work with our vets that are here in the center. We have Help USA that's going to come once a week to work with our vets that are like at the verge of going homeless. So all we're doing is just filling those gaps of veteran services and bridging it with these different organizations, because basically what we've created is that central hub of a wagon wheel. And when we assess that vet, where we're getting to the root of the problem, we see everything that we need to work off. But at the same time, with our collaboration with these community partners in the community, we'll be able to send a warm handoff to that vet or that spouse, to that organization or company, so that they can work with that vet for whatever those specific reasons, and come back here and then we'll continue to work with that vet, so that that vet is always set up for success. And then this here is our team kitchen and lounge, and everybody's taking advantage of it right now and taking a break.
We're one of the team.
And then we have the library here, where they can come here and just sit back and relax, collect their thoughts, their reprieve, sit down and read, or just hang out, because it's a space where they don't always have to come here at the center when they're in crisis. It's a space here where they can connect and just regroup or recharge or whatever it is that they feel like they want to do when they come here at the center.
Good job, Randy.
And this is our main therapeutic room, where we'll have professionals coming in at a given time, and they're not We are not the one and be all answer. All we're doing is providing them the choices that they can actually easy access now for these alternative modalities for post-traumatic stress. And we're not requiring them to be referred by a doctor to come in here. We just need to do an assessment and just get them where they're connected with the right professional that they want to seek help from, whether it's music therapy or EMDR or NLP or even thought field therapy. But like I said, we're working with the other organizations for horse therapy and service center. So this is basically the center. Any questions? I could give you more of a tour afterwards if you want, since you kind of popped in. And you have to give me that. Life After Active Duty, which I'm the founder, and also Veterans Care Foundation, who Jim Littner and RJ Doe are founders also. So we're the two 501c nonprofits that have brought together the Veteran Transition Resource Center. Yeah. So we know that at some point we'll need to open a couple other centers in the city to support them, but we're still going to service the whole entire veteran community, including the National Guard and Reserve. But for right now, this is where strategically it's important that we be here, because there's at least 65,000 vets. And then we have the Guard and Reserve here, and then we're close to Nellis Air Force Base. We're 3 exits down from the VA hospital and Fisher House. So we're supporting the family as well. So we are just an extension of what everybody else is doing. Thank you. You're welcome.